What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Africa Ever After. I am Zara, and today we will be discussing a topic that we get questions on all the time, and that is, what is the cost of living in Uganda? So if you're ready, let's get started. First, let's jump right into the question that most people ask. What is the cost for housing? Let me start by saying you can find whatever it is you're looking for here in Uganda, whether it be a countryside mansion or a chic downtown apartment. You can find everything. My criteria when I was looking was I had to make sure that all of the homes we looked at had water heaters in both the kitchen and the bathrooms, as well as a space for full-size refrigerators and stoves in the kitchen, as well as hookups for washing machines, because these are all things that are normal in the States. So based on that criteria, I was able to find one-bedroom apartments ranging from 400,000 shillings to 1 million shillings. Now, obviously, the place that was 1 million shillings was much nicer than the one, at least in my opinion, that was 400,000, and came in a nicer neighborhood, which was probably the biggest deciding factor, was the location. All of the apartments were nice, they were beautiful, but the one that was 1 million would have been something I probably would have stayed at before I had children, and the one that was 400,000 would have been something that I could see maybe a college student living in, at least from my standard. I can also tell you that for our housing as a family of 6, we have a 4-bedroom home, and we are paying $800 for our home. The reason why we went with the 4-bedroom home was because of the amount of people that we have. We could have done a 3-bedroom house, which is what we had back in the States, but we decided that we liked the 4-bedroom homes just a little bit better, and we're pleased with our decision. Let's discuss utilities. Definitely not the funnest thing to talk about, but still a necessity. So it's important that we discuss these things, right? I'm going to be looking down at my notes because I wrote everything down here. So again, these numbers are going to be based on our family of 6. So for electricity, we pay roughly 350,000 shillings per month. We have 2 different water bills. For the water that comes from the city, we pay roughly 65,000 shillings a month. That's going to be the water that we cook with, that we wash our bodies with and wash our clothes with. We do not drink this water because our 3rd week here, we had someone refill the water dispenser with the tap water, and every single person in our family had a few days of explosive bathroom experiences, and so we just haven't drank the water since. We actually get what's called GB water delivered to the house, and that costs us 64,000 shillings a month. It's roughly 8 5-gallons containers that we get delivered, which is $64,000 or 64,000 shillings a month. Also, you'll need to hire a company to pick up the trash. You can have them pick it up once or twice a week. We have the twice a week option, and it does not only include the bags, like the bags of trash, but it also includes like any kind of garden waste you may have, and even bulky items if you talk with them in advance. For that, we pay 25,000 shillings a month. You will also need to consider the price of gas for your stove, but that price varies wildly based on how much you're going to use. And I forgot to write down how much we paid last time we bought it, because we don't buy it very often, like maybe once every 3 months. But if I can remember, I'll try to put that down in the description box below. Now, let's discuss the price of help. And what I mean by that is the people that come in and help with different tasks that you don't necessarily want to do, or that you don't have the time to do, to make your life way easier. These people are so valued, at least in my opinion. I love the people that help us. And so I'm going to include them in the list as well. So for a driver, The cost may vary. If you're hiring a car, which is someone who has their own car to come and pick you up and take you around, that can get very expensive very, very fast. So I don't recommend doing that. I recommend if you have the money to buy your own car and hire a driver to drive your car. So that's the price that I'll be giving you now, which can be about 800,000 to 2 million. It just depends on what you're willing to spend and the knowledge of the person that's driving. So for security, you can expect to spend from 600,000 up. The companies that you can, so you can either hire a individual person, which will be cheaper on average, or you can hire a company. A lot of companies here will have guarantees, meaning that if something happens to your property, if anything's stolen or anything like that, while the security guard is there, they will be responsible for replacing that. So I get why people would want to pay for the company security, but it is going to be more expensive. So for the individual, you can expect to spend around 600,000. And for the company, it really just depends on whatever your agreement is with them, but I would expect you should spend around 1 million shillings a month to go through a security company. And then for the superheroes of the home, which include maids, gardeners, and nannies, we pay our cleaning lady 300,000 shillings a month. She comes twice a week for roughly 5-ish hours. And so this is the price that we have negotiated with her. She is happy with the price and we're happy with the price. I know that some people will say it's probably a little higher than what most people would pay their cleaner to come in twice a week, but we're happy with it, so we're gonna go with that. In addition, our gardener comes 2 times a month and he cleans our compound as well as trims the grass, and then he will do the bushes and the trees and all of that. And we pay him about 70,000 shillings a month. We don't have a nanny, so I can't give you the price on that, but our children do have a private teacher, which costs about 1.5 million shillings a month. I think that's all the help that we have. I'm sure that there's more help that people will hire. Like, I know that some people will actually hire people that come and clean the compound daily or several times a week. We don't have that yet. Maybe one day, who knows? But people will complain about the price that we're paying, or they have their own opinions about the price that we're paying. That is fine. These are all prices that we have negotiated with the people that we have helping us. And again, they seem fine with it, so we're fine with it. So it's all good. The next thing we'll discuss is food. I prefer to go to the local market downtown in Kampala because it is so beautiful, like all the colors, and the prices are really good. But you can get anything you can imagine food-wise, whether it be meat or spices or any kind of fruit or vegetable you can imagine, they have it there, and the prices are right. So for a week's worth of groceries, we spend roughly 120,000 shillings a week. Now, at the local market, while you can buy meat, we don't buy our meat there. We usually buy it from our local butcher. So I didn't include that price or that cost in how much we spend, but for the vegetables, the fruits, the spices, and all of that, we spend about 120,000 shillings a week for our 6-member family. If you go to the grocery store, which we do, every once in a while, we try to limit the time that we spend in the grocery store because it is much, 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 much more expensive than going to the local market. But if we do go to the grocery store, we do spend about 300,000 shillings a week to go there. And for the days that you don't feel like cooking and you decide that you want to go out to eat, it really depends on where you go, the price. You can find meals as low as 15,000 shillings, especially if you go for the local meals, which is like Rolexes, or even what are some like chapati meals or stews. Those, while really tasty, do tend to cost a lot less. I'm not sure why, but they do. So you can spend, between 15 and 20,000 shillings for those meals. Or if you want to go somewhere a little bit more fancy and treat yourself, you can spend between 60 to 80,000 shillings on one meal. If you order juice with your meal, you can expect to spend for the juice between 12 and 24,000 shillings, again, depending on where you go. So those are the things that we spend our money on. If you have questions about things I did not mention, be sure to put them in the comments below. I will do my best to find out the answers for you. And also in the future, we should have some housing tours so you can see what the housing looks like. And then I'll include the prices with those as well. If you like our content, or you know someone who would appreciate it, be sure to send it to them by sharing. Make sure you give our content a thumbs up and you subscribe to watch our future content. And as always, remember, keep pushing, keep dreaming. We're all in this together.